We are glad to welcome you to our channel. Kindly subscribe to our channel and share our videos with your friends and relations. And click on the bell icon for instant notification whenever new videos are uploaded on this channel. Rest assured that we are going to have a very exciting and inspiring discussion. Let's dive into the lesson right away. In today's lesson, we are going to look at how best to study with JAMB past questions and answers. And our focus will be on JAMB UTME 2019 English language. Let's get started with the questions. You can see here on this page, consolidated JAMB questions, English language 2019, Lexis and structure. In each of the questions 41 to 50, fill the blank spaces with the most appropriate of options A to D. Question 41. You can go on. I dash what you are saying. A, I'm understanding. B, maybe understanding. C, understand. D, was understanding. Now, this question is testing your knowledge of the correct use of tenses. And here, the verb understand is a mental verb that cannot be used in a progressive form. For example, you cannot say, I am understanding what you are saying. That is grammatically wrong. You cannot say, I am understanding. Now, other verbs like this include see, hear, and so on. So you cannot say, I am hearing what you are saying. You can only say, I hear or I can hear. I understand or I can understand. So the correct option here is C. You can go on. I understand what you are saying. That's the correct option. Question 42. The angry woman shouted and cursed in language dash shocking for words. A, very. B, too. C, so. D, far. Now, this is a test of collocation. Here, collocation refers to a group of two or more words that are frequently used together. Now, the best way to explain collocation, or the simplest way to do so, is to think of simple expressions like I eat food, I drink water. So when you look at the word eat, it goes together with food. You cannot say I eat water, neither can you say I drink food. So eat collocates with food and drink collocates with water. So that is a very simple way to explain the concept of collocation. Now, applying that to this question, the angry woman shouted and cursed in language dash shocking for words. Now, we are looking for the appropriate modifier for shocking. And not only that, that will also take the preposition for words. Can you say in language very shocking for words? Now, in most cases, you can also rely on your intuition, in the sense that as a user of the language, you have been conversant with the language over time. You have heard expressions in the language, and so you'll be able to cross-check what is grammatically correct and what is grammatically incorrect. So can we say in language very shocking for words? Absolutely not. Then B, in language too shocking for words, yes. When you say too shocking for, this actually is the suitable collocate in this context. You cannot say so shocking for words. When you use the word so, it collocates with that. So shocking that, you know. But when you say too shocking for words, that's absolutely correct. So the appropriate or the correct option is B. The angry woman shouted and cursed in language too shocking for words. Question 43. If you dash me that you had run out of petrol, I would have given you some. A, we are to tell. B, tell. C, have told. D, had told. Now, we can begin to use any of these options and test whether it is grammatically correct or not. For example, we use A. If you were to tell me that you had run out of petrol, I would have given you some. This is incorrect because the expression here is a conditional sentence, okay? It's a conditional sentence. And again, we also have to look at sequence of tenses. When you are dealing with a past tense in the subordinate clause, you have to also look at the type of tense of the verb in the main clause. This is what we call tense harmony. You need to harmonize the tense of the verb in the subordinate clause with the tense of the verb in the main clause. And so if you look at B, you cannot use the present tense in the subordinate clause while you have the past perfect, okay, the past perfect in the main clause. Again, you cannot have the present perfect in the subordinate clause while you have the past perfect in the main clause. So the correct option is D. If you had told me, that you had run out of petrol, I would have given you some. So you see, that is grammatically correct if you had told me. Now look at certain expressions. For example, if I had known, I would have done this, or I wouldn't have done that. So that is the kind of structure we are dealing with here. So the correct option is D. If you had told me that you had run out of petrol, I would have given you some. Question number 44. Dash to your birthday party in September. This is a question. A, may I come to your birthday party in September? B, will I come to your birthday party in September? C, would I come to your birthday party in September? D, shall I come to your birthday party in September? Now, here we have to look at the use of the modal verbs, especially in making polite requests. And so you cannot say, will I come? You cannot say, would I come? You cannot say, shall I come? The appropriate expression, the appropriate option is, may I come? If you are making a request or you're asking for permission, you use the word may I. You cannot say will or would I. If you are requesting someone to do something, then you can say, would you or could you please do this or that? Now, if you are asking for permission in a situation where you and the person you are asking permission will do it, you can say, shall we? All right, that is a different thing. But may I come to your birthday party in September? So the correct option is A. Question 45. Dustin refused to be dashed, though he has written the examination 3 times. A, sad. Tosin refused to be sad, though he has written the examination 3 times. Does it make sense? B, placated. C, frustrated. D, deficient. The appropriate option should be C. Tosin refused to be frustrated, though he has written the examination 3 times. Okay, refused to be frustrated. Because when you have also to look at the semantics here, because a sentence has to be meaningful for it also to be grammatically correct. Now, if someone has taken, has written the examination 3 times, is the person likely to be sad or placated or deficient? The appropriate word is frustrated. So Tosin refused to be frustrated, though he has written the examination 3 times. Question number 46. In Dash, we as politicians are identified with the masses. In Dash, we as politicians are identified with masses. A, more deeper sense. B, a much deeper sense. C, a most deeper sense. D, much more deeper sense. Now, what is being tested here is your knowledge of the comparative adjectives. You know, adjectives have different degrees of comparison. You have the positive, the comparative, and the superlative. And if you look at option A more deeper sense, in more deeper sense, we as politicians are identified with the masses. This is wrong grammatically, because here you are using 2 comparative. This is double comparative. More is comparative and deeper is comparative. And some, some speakers of English who commit this grammatical blunder, you often hear them say, he is more better, or it is more better to do this than to do that. More better is grammatically wrong because more is comparative and better is comparative. So option C again is grammatically wrong because most is the superlative degree of comparison, while deeper is the comparative. So you can't combine the comparative and the superlative together. Is grammatically wrong. Okay, and B also, a much deeper sense. Yes, this is correct. D is incorrect. Much more deeper sense. You see, because of more and deeper, this is incorrect. So the correct option is B. In a much deeper sense, we as politicians are identified with the masses. You see, much can modify deeper. All right. So, and that makes it grammatically correct. So the correct option is B. In a much deeper sense, we as politicians are identified with the masses. Question number 47. People who live by dash, what loneliness is like? A, each other, no. Let's try to fit each of them here. People who live by each other know what loneliness is like. B, people who live by one another know what loneliness is like. C, people who live by oneself knows what loneliness is like. And D, people who live by themselves know what loneliness is like. Now, the correct option is D. People who live by themselves know what loneliness is like. Now, let's use the elimination method. But first of all, what is being tested here is your knowledge of the various types of pronouns. You know, each other, one another. These two are what we call reciprocal pronouns. You use each other when you are referring to two people, okay? And then you use one another when you are referring to three or more people, but that is when it really makes sense in that sentence. Here, it doesn't make any sense at all, because people who live by each other know what loneliness is like. If you are living by each other, then you are not lonely. If you are living by one another, you are not lonely. And people being plural cannot use by oneself. You can only use one. You can say one who lives by oneself knows, but people cannot actually be used with oneself, because people is plural, and the pronoun that should replace people in a sentence should be plural, okay? So, and that is why D is correct, people who live by themselves. So both oneself and themselves are the type of pronoun we call reflexive pronoun. But then you have singular and plural reflexive pronouns. So a pronoun is a word that can replace a noun in a sentence. People is a noun and it's plural. So if we have to replace people with a pronoun, we have to use a plural pronoun like themselves to replace people. So that is what makes D correct. People who live by themselves know what loneliness is like. So to question number 48. He keeps his dash clean always. A, surroundings. B, surrounding. C, premise. D, environment. Here we're dealing for location, you know. He keeps his surroundings, you know. So in this case, you are dealing with surroundings. That is the appropriate option. Option A is correct because the word surroundings is the appropriate word in this context. You keep your surroundings clean. Question number 49. Ali has been cured of his amnesia. He no longer suffers from dash. A, rounds of anxiety. B, loss of memory. C, pains in his hands. D, bouts of malaria. Here we are dealing with the vocabulary of health or the vocabulary of medicine. And you need to understand what amnesia means. Is a kind of disease or illness associated with loss of memory. That is amnesia, okay? And so when you look at options A to D, the correct option is B, loss of memory. Someone who suffers from amnesia is suffering from loss of memory. And so if Ali has been cured of his amnesia, he no longer suffers from loss of memory. Question number 50. The match gave the team a chance to show their dash. A, worth. B, position. C, prowess. D, mettle. Now, when you look at this question, it's also a test of your knowledge of collocation. Of course, people can talk about showing their worth, showing their prowess, showing their mettle, but in a competition, the appropriate option is D. The match gave the team a chance to show their mettle. It means to show how tough they are. That is exactly what mettle means here. The match gave the team a chance to show their mettle. That is the correct option. And this brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, share it with your friends and relations. I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video.